guys, so I have a book haul slash in my mailbox for you. It's about 16 books, I think. So yeah, like always, you know the drill. I'll try to make it as quick as possible. And I'll start with the books that I very kindly received for review. The first one is a little bit strange in that I requested this when it was coming out back in April. I never heard anything of it, but suddenly it arrived like 2 weeks ago, and I was a bit like, okay, didn't know I was receiving it or anything like that. Yeah, and it's from Little Brown, and that's the New Moon graphic novel, volume 1. It's super thin. Haven't read this yet, but I will probably read it soon because it'll be like an hour read or something. So yeah, have that. I really enjoyed the Twilight graphic novel. I thought it was really well illustrated, and I just really enjoyed it. And yeah, they got some really beautiful illustrations in there, so was really surprised but really grateful to have received that. Then, if you remember, if you watched, I think it was my last haul, I went to an event at Little Brown, and they very kindly sent me some more books in a series that I picked up there, but that wasn't like, it was book, I think I picked up book 5 there, but I needed book 3 and 4, so they sent me book 3 and 4, if that makes any sense. God, that was long-winded for what I was trying to say. So they sent me book 3 in Sherilyn Kenyon's League novels, and that one's Born of Ice. So there's that one. Then I think this is book 4, which is Born of Shadows. I really enjoyed the series when I started it a couple of years ago, so I'm really excited to pick it up again, because I actually enjoyed her League novels more than her Dark Hunter novels, which is what she's most well known for. But I actually enjoyed these more, so I'm excited to get back into that series. As if I don't need, you know, another series to be reading, but yeah. Then also from Little Brown, they very kindly sent me The Taming of Ryder Kavanagh by Stephanie Lawrence. This is book 2 in the Sisters duo. I do have book 1, so really pleased that they sent me this. And the cover on the front, it's okay, but the colour of the spine and the back is this really beautiful sort of lilac pastel bluey type thing, and it's really cute. So these are my sort of quick escapist novels, Regency romance, so always pleased to receive one of those. And then the last book I have from Little Brown is The Forever of Ella and Micah by Jessica Sorensen. This is the sequel to The Secret of Ella and Micah, which I read earlier this year and really enjoyed. It was when I think it was one of the first new adult novels that I read, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm really excited to read more of Ella and Micah's story. So really pleased about that. And I think that came out like about the 20th of October, around that time. But yeah, super excited to read that. Then from Scholastic I have The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater, never sure how you say her name. This is the sequel to The Raven Boys, which I have an advanced copy of, but haven't read yet. So if I read that, really enjoy it, then obviously I'll pick this up, but I'll probably buy a finished copy of The Raven Boys if I enjoy it, because it currently does not match this. It's a really tiny arc that doesn't match this in any way. It has no like real cover or anything, but obviously I'd want them to match. I really like the covers for this series. They're really intriguing, so it's definitely made me want to read The Raven Boys a bit more, because I heard mixed things about that. Then from Random House I have Teardrop by Lauren Kate. This cover is absolutely stunning. I thought it looked good online, but in person, the dress made out of water there is absolutely beautiful. It reminds me, I don't know if anyone will remember, but when I was younger I liked a film called The Swan Princess. It was an animated movie that wasn't Disney, and how she turned into a swan. It reminds me of that, and I think that's probably why I like it so much. Really, really beautiful. I didn't like Fallen by her. I have the first 3 books in the Fallen series, read book 1, and I really did enjoy it. I found it very boring. It was probably one of the first video reviews that I did on this channel. So if you're really curious about what I felt about it, you'll find a video review of it. But the rundown is I found it boring. Didn't feel much happened. So as much as this sounds much better, it's about a girl that can't cry. She's not allowed to cry. Or you know, bad things will happen. It says on the back here, never ever cry. But it does, the premise of it sounds so good, but I really am unsure because of how strongly I felt about Fallen. But we will see, as they say. Another book that I had from Random House was Time After Time by Tamara Island Stone. This is the sequel to Time Between Us. I believe this series is just going to be a duology. And when did this come out? Take a look. 24th of October. I haven't read Time Between Us yet, but it's a book that I'm really excited to read. And it's about a boy who can time travel, and when he does time travel he meets this girl, and he falls in love with her, but it's like, how can they be together when they live in different times type thing. So I'm really interested to see how it works out, and I love the covers to this series as well, so that's a series I'm ecstatic to start. Then the next book that I have is another one that I was extremely excited about, and I actually squealed when I saw it, when I opened my mail and I saw it, and it's The Falconer by Elizabeth May, and this is from Orion. Ignore the sticker because I haven't braved taking it off yet, but it's so freaking pretty. I love what she's wearing. I love the like modified pistol going on there. The back is so beautiful, and if you unfold the back flap, you can see there. Oh, it's so pretty, and I'm so excited about it. It's sort of like a historical fiction meets urban fantasy type thing that sounds absolutely incredible. This girl, I'm not sure how you say her name. Is it Ileana? I think it's Ileana. She's, for all intents and purposes, she's a debutante, part of the high social classes, but at night she becomes a murderess. She goes around murdering fairies because they murdered her mother, so she's out for vengeance. She's killing these fairies. It sounds so good. Absolutely love the sound of this. This is another one that I'm hoping to get to really soon. I'm hoping to read it by the end of the year, but who the hell knows. It's so stunning. Everything about it is so pretty. It's amazing. Can't wait to read that. Okay, so yeah, this haul is going to turn into a bit of an excitement haul, because so many of these books I'm excited for, but this one, oh my god. Happy dance around the kitchen when I got this. It's Lips Touch by Laini Taylor. Hodder very, very kindly sent me this. You guys know how much I love Laini Taylor. Every opportunity that I have to mention Laini Taylor, I mention Laini Taylor. I read her about this time last year. I read her Daughter of Smoke and Bone, book 1 and book 2. I'm highly, highly anticipating the release of book 3 next year. But when I saw that this was going to be published in the UK for the first time, I squealed. This was published in the US. It was published under Lips Touch 3 times. But this is the first time that they've released this here. It's 3 short stories, and they're illustrated by Jim D. Bartello, and they have some beautiful illustrations in there. They are absolutely stunning. So I'm so excited to read this. It will tide me over until I can get my hands on book 3 of the Door and Smoke and Bone trilogy. But yeah, we're super excited. Anything by Laini Taylor I want to get my hands on, because I just love her so much. And these illustrations, guys, so excited. The cover seems a bit weird, how you just have this giant fruit there, but one of the short stories is called Goblin Fruit, and if you're familiar with the poem, then everything sort of starts to make sense. So yeah, so excited for that. Included in that little parcel, they also sent me A Million Dirty Secrets, book 1 in the $1 Million Duet by C.L. Parker. This is one of those sort of 50 Shades erotic type novels. It actually describes this as Pretty Woman for the 50 Shades generation. I read 50 Shades, and I admit it wasn't like one of my favourite books ever, but I enjoyed it. But still, erotic fiction is not something I'm pulled to. It's not something that, it's not, you know, a go-to genre in any way, shape or form, but I'm prepared to give them a go. And I don't dislike the sound of this one. It's about a woman whose mother is dying and they can't afford for her to have, I think it's an operation or have some sort of medical treatment, so she auctions herself off, and some millionaire guy basically buys her. So the plot sounds okay. It tends to be the sexy scenes I'm a bit like wary of. Not that I'm prudish, not that I won't read them. It's just I tend to read Regency romance, which is a bit lighter than obviously erotic fiction. This is so totally awkward to talk about, by the way. But yeah, I'll give it a go, and I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised by it. So we shall see. That came out on the 29th of August. So we shall see. Then one book that I have already read, because as soon as it arrived I basically started reading it. I couldn't wait to read it. It comes out in December, but I was reading it in the middle of October because I could not wait for it, guys. And that's Crash Into You by Katie McGarry. I can't put up my review until closer to the time. Mirror Inc. have asked me to publish it closer to the release date, which is absolutely fair enough. But oh my god, it was so good. I could not wait till closer to the time to read it. I had to read it now. Don't regret a thing. It was absolutely fantastic. I loved Pushing the Limits. Pushing the Limits is one of my favourite books of all time. Dare You 2 was still, you know, a fantastic YA contemporary, but it didn't match up to Pushing the Limits. Crash Into You was as good as Pushing the Limits. I loved it as much. Oh my god, it was so good, guys. I don't feel like I can even express how fantastic this book was. I blazed through this, but can we just talk about this cover? At first when I saw it I didn't think it was Isaiah, but it's grown on me and I now really love this cover. But they have butchered the UK cover, because this is an advanced copy which has the US cover on it. If you look up the UK cover, it is so bad. It is genuinely so bad. I will not be purchasing the UK cover of this book because it's atrocious, absolutely atrocious. But this fantastic, fan friggin' tastic. So on to some books that I bought. I bought Awaken by Meg Cabot. This is the third book in her, is it Underworld? Is that what it's called? Trilogy. I can't even remember what book 1 is. That's really bad. It's gone completely out of my mind. They're right here anyway. Abandon, there we go. Abandon, Underworld and Awaken. It's the Persephone and Hades retelling series. I now have all 3 books but haven't read them yet. But I'll probably pick up book 1 soon now that I have all 3. The covers to these are okay. They are not my favourite covers, but you know, they're not my least favourite either. So there's that. And Meg Cabot is one of my favourite authors of all time, as you guys, if you've been following my channel for a while, will know that I love Meg Cabot. So yeah, I am excited to start that, but I've heard mixed things about it, so we shall see. Then I picked up Severed Heads, Broken Hearts by Robin Schneider. This in the US is called something different. It's the beginning of everything, has a much nicer cover, but this one is kind of intriguing. It's about a boy called Ezra who has a tragedy happen to him. I think he wants to play, is it football? Or he wants some sort of athletic career, but he shatters his knee, and he has to reevaluate life, and he meets a girl that sort of makes him, what's it called? They just discover new things together and a different outlook on life. So it does sound really, really intriguing. So I picked that up. Those books are all going to fall over, so I'm going to put them there. And the next book that I bought was Ashes on the Waves by Mary Lindsay. Haven't heard an awful lot about this book. The cover is quite pretty. I'm quite liking that. I was a bit annoyed when it came. It's got a tear. I don't know how you're going to be able to see that there. Was a little bit disappointed with that, but what can you do? Just blue. And what attracted me to this book is that it's a retelling or reimagining of Edgar Allan Poe's Annabel Lee. I am a massive fan not only of Edgar Allan Poe but of Nevermore by Kelly Cray, which is just, it incorporates not just one element of Edgar Allan Poe. There's a lot of sort of mystery, not only sort of his stories, there's more. You've got The Raven, you've got Mask of the Red Death. There's more than just one element of Edgar Allan Poe, like Lenore, all that sort of stuff is in Nevermore. This is just a sort of a retelling of Annabel Lee, which I'm really, really excited about. It's really, really stunning cover. So we'll see how awesome this is. If it's half as good as Nevermore, it will be excellent. And then the last book that I have is Across the Star-Swept Sea by Diana Peterfriend. This is the sequel / companion novel to For Darkness Shows the Stars. I don't believe they are directly related. I don't think they have the same characters or anything in, because the first one is a retelling of Jane Austen's Persuasion. I haven't read it yet, by the way. And this, I think, is a retelling of The Scarlet Pimpernel. Yeah, sort of inspired / retelling of the Scarlet Pimpernel. It's got a beautiful cover. I think it goes really nicely with the first book, and I love this under the dust jacket. I think it's really pretty. So I had to pick that up. So that's everything for this haul, guys. Got there eventually. If there's any books in here that you've read and really enjoyed, or even books that you haven't enjoyed, always let me know in the comments, because I love to know. Or if there's any books that you want from this haul, for any particular reason, I'm always really interested to know. And thanks so much for watching, and happy reading, guys.